Hey guys, so the next thing we're going to look at in these tutorial videos is our hangar. Just as a reminder of the layout. So this hangar here in the rear part of the hangar, the entire hangar here, is the logistics hangar, is what I've officially named it. So here we have cargo skiffs. I've got this one set up for a little demonstration that we'll do in a minute. Over here we have on the sides we have our air traffic control stations. These are for launching fighters mostly, but I guess you can just like role play like a control, like yeah, you have permission to dock or whatever. Um, Here in the center we have our main combat hangar, and this will be for dropships, gunships, and fighters. Here are the little fighter hangars here. So, and then over in the very front of the ship here, through the walls, yeah, we have our industrial side hangers. So these are for miners, and on the other side there we have little welder grinder ships for repairing the ship. Okay, so moving back through here, we have. We're just going to go ahead and start demonstrating the logistics hangar first. So I designed these little ships here to be able to carry little cargo pods. They're kind of nifty little things, and then it also has a little bit of storage. It's for itself, so it can carry supplies and whatnot and deposit them directly into the ship. So these cargo pods, this pilot here is going to just release his load. Oh, okay, that didn't work as well as I'd hoped. Okay, just going to drop the pods if we can here. Okay, we're going to do it this way. Mag plate. Obviously, I need to set this up a little bit still. These are going to unlock. Okay, so it's unlocked. These things are down. And we're just going to leave them there. This ship moves back. Okay, gonna land him there. Now, we have these two cargo pods here that are just chilling. So what we do with them now is that we go into the shipping warehouse, and I'm going to close these doors behind me because I want to show you this. So these doors are going to close. Okay, now over here we have our cargo tugs. That's what I've called them, as cargo tugs. All right, we're just going to spin one of these up. You'll see that we have a bunch of other cargo pods in here, and I'll show you the reason for that. So we're just going to fly this little dude out here. It's kind of a nice little construction. I really like how I did this thing. It's not too shabby, I think. Okay, so we'll fly forward towards this thing, and as soon as we do, it should sense the ship and begin opening. I hope. Usually. Okay, maybe I turned off the sensor. Hold on. Huh. Okay, whatever. I'll fix it before I publish. So this door will open automatically. Okay, we'll fly through. This door would be open automatically as well. Then we fly out here. We press 4 to make sure that our automatic lock is on. So it'll lock onto these cargo pods as we draw close to it. All right. Let me just kind of come up right next to it here. Hook on. And bring it back inside. All right. Oh, before we fly around with this thing, we might want to turn off the mass blocks. So just press this button here. That'll turn them off. All right. And back in we go. It's kind of a little bit not so easy to fly, but that's okay. All right. Fly it in here, and we stick it on one of the shelves. That's pretty much the gist of it. Guess I'll just stick it up here. Okay. Yep, good to go. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this just out in the hangar here. that's pretty much the demonstration of how that system works. So that's everything you need to know about it. We're going to use this again in another part of the video, so I'm just going to leave it over here. I don't recommend flying these things too fast, but you know, whatever, don't care. Okay, just set that there. Okay, so next part of the hangar is this little fighter hangar here. So in order to launch fighters, again, we're going to either be sitting up here or there's a station for launching fighters on the bridge. It's the hangar control. Or else we just have, like, if you don't have anyone that you're playing with and you just want to try out the ship, we have little buttons here. So in order to launch a fighter, we're going to just click this button that says launch. This button over here is to cancel the launch. So uh, just press launch. Remember that if you don't launch, then it will close automatically after 2 minutes. So press that button, the gate closes down. We're going to turn on our ship here and prepare to launch. So this fighter here, you'll notice I have my inertial dampeners off. I did that because if the ship is moving, the main ship, then you want to be able to launch without much difficulty. So I'm going to unlock and we're ready to go. You'll notice there are these little signs, you can't really see them behind the bars of the thing, but these little signs on the other side have turned on and they're green lights, so we're good to go. Just going to launch out the ship here. Oh, okay, we're good. Then the door behind us starts closing up. And we have launched. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's pretty easy. In order to get back into the ship now, I'm going to come around the side. And here is the main entryway for the hangar. It's just back here. So we're going to come on over here. As soon as we move in front of it, it's going to open automatically. We've got some little red flashing lights here to indicate that there's a status change happening. I'm going to press Control Z to just make sure that I stick with the main hangar. And then to turn off the cruise control, again, I have that with every single build that I make. I just turn off the cruise control, fly forward. And then whenever I get back into the hangar here, I'm just going to turn the cruise control back on. Sit here for a second while the hangar's closing up. This part of the hangar is going to pressurize before it lets us into the main hangar. So this door will close, this part of the hangar will pressurize, and then we're going to move into the ship here. Just give it a minute. Okay, and we're going to just fly right back in here. You can kind of, I've noticed that if you fly at like 1 meter per second, you can kind of just keep moving the entire time and you don't have to stop and wait for it to pressurize. Okay, now we're right back here. We left from pad 7, so I'm just going to park this thing right back here in pad 7. All right. These fighters are kind of cool. So number 1 obviously is the Gatling gun. Number 2 is the automatic or the autocannons, and then number 3 is the rocket launcher. Number 4 fires the Gatling guns and autocannons at the same time. And then 5 is cruise control. 6 is the antenna on and off. 7 is landing lights, maybe. Yeah, and then 8 is turning the O2 generator on and off, and 9 controls whether or not you want to update our ammo summary here. So you can update the ammo summary and it'll come up and tell you how much ammo you have left. I just put that on because you don't want like 7 of them running at the same time because it kind of slows down everything a little bit. So if you turn that off, then it won't, you don't have to worry about it. All right. Okay, so here we are. We are parked back in our little hangar if I can get a good view. Yeah, there we are. Okay, I'm gonna lock it up and turn it off. Okay. Okay, so we have our dropships here and our gunships. Now these will leave at the same, in the same way. They'll go through out through the main hangar exit. So this dropship here, for example, again, these were designed by Venom 415. He's a pretty good designer. Okay, I'm gonna press Control Z and close up the rear hatch so that we don't have to worry about that. Can I press P, release parking, and out we go. Okay, so, oh, went a little too fast. Okay, so we're just gonna go and exit out over here. Make sure our rear is closed up for sure. Okay, so We approach this front gate here, and it'll again automatically start flashing. Hopefully. Yeah, there it goes. Got to get pretty close. I kind of made it kind of close because I figured the vehicles would be driving past here and I didn't want them to trigger this thing automatically. This thing is also set up so that if nothing flies through within 2 minutes, then it'll close automatically after 2 minutes. All right, so we just fly through here. Okay. Works a lot the same as the entry hangar. So these gates will close. The interior part here will depressurize, and then it'll let us out. So the gates are closing now. Can I just press Control Z so we don't, slam into the side of the ship while the ship is moving? Okay. Interior here is depressurizing. There we go. The lights turn on to show a status change inside the hangar here, and then we're just gonna fly forward here. So as soon as this gate is open, we are good to go. Okay, I'm gonna just show you what this looks like here. It's a really nice view flying out of this thing. Okay, so once we fly through, the gates start closing, and we are away. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this ship out here because I don't really want to dock it again right now. And then back into the hangar. Okay. So that's that part of the ship. It's a nice little area. I don't know why this got depressurized, but I'm just gonna go with it. I've noticed sometimes that it does weird things with the pressure. So in order to move a vehicle out, right? So we want to move a vehicle. So let's say we want to move one of these Jeeps over here, because they're going to be a little easier than those tanks. So say we take one of these Jeeps here. They'll work the same way as the tank, so it's not a big deal. First thing we want to do is turn on the Jeep. So we're going to turn it on, and then we'll notice that number 7 here, our artificial mass blocks are turned off. So I'm going to turn those on. Oh, now press 5. Okay, it's all on. We have our connector unlocked automatically. I'm just trying to reduce the clang that we have here, but whatever. So that's off, and then over here we have magnetic floor lock. So we're going to turn that off. These turn yellow, that's good. Okay, we're in our Jeep. We're going to start, our parking brake is on, so I'm going to take that off. And then we drive forward here. Okay, I'm going to need to kind of angle this out a little bit here. Okay, so we're taking off, so we're just going to drive this thing out into the main part of the hangar here. Say about to here, and then stop it. We're going to turn on our parking lock and then turn off the artificial mass blocks. I guess you can turn that off at any point in time after you lock it up, but the point is that we don't want that dragging down our dropship here. So we're just going to take the dropship, unlock it. Oh, just broke something. Try not to fly too quickly. All right. Okay, we're going to come down here. The rear part, I'm going to close up the landing pad. The rear locking mechanism, you can see it just on the tail there. It has auto lock automatically turned on, so it should be good to go. Yeah, I broke something off the top. Oh well, doesn't matter. Okay, we're just gonna lower down here until we get right over the thing. I might change the design of these Jeeps a little bit to make it a little bit more flush so that the antenna there isn't poking out because it's kind of obnoxious. Okay, we're just gonna hook on like so, and then we'll fly forward as usual and leave the hangar, hopefully. Alright, getting close, there we are. It's not perfectly centered, but it doesn't really matter, I don't care. Okay, so you see now how the interior is pressurized. I don't understand really why that's happening, but it doesn't really matter, I suppose. It's just some glitch that has to do with the Space Engineers itself. It's kind of a strange thing, but maybe they'll fix it or something after they watch this video. Hint, hint, keen. All right. Waiting for the doors to open, and voila, we're out. We're good to go. We bring the ship down to the planet and drop it off. You know, I guess you could have little engineers sitting inside of the rover as well if you wanted to. You know, automatically start driving it. I wouldn't recommend it myself because I imagine that it would be a very difficult re-entry with the open design that I have there on that thing. So yeah, here we are. We're out of the ship. Good to go. Something just fell off the ship. Okay, so that's it. All right, we're out. We're good to go. We have our little vehicle. Okay, next thing I want to show you guys is these side hangers here. So we're going to go ahead and just go like this, come through everything, and come into the side hanger. So these are pretty simple. They're pretty straightforward. There's nothing really to them. So let's do this. Control space and F6. All right, so these interiors are pressurized. That's good. In order to open these side doors here, we're just going to open the door first of all, and the status lights will start changing on or start turning on automatically, and then we'll open up. Okay, so now we're gonna hop in our little guy here. I think the interior does depressurize when we open up the door, so it should. Obviously, I'm in creative mode, so it doesn't depressurize, but gonna press Y and P. This will disconnect. I think these are connected to the main part of the ship, so it might take a second to disconnect completely. Okay, we're just gonna come out here, and off we go. Okay. Now, the doors on this thing are not set up to close automatically as soon as you leave. It'll take 2 minutes for the thing to close. In order to come back, though, we have the sensor set up here, and the sensor will sense when you come back, and it'll automatically open all three because there's no way to tell which one you left from, so it'll automatically just open all three and you can park right away. I do not recommend launching these when there's any sort of security risk, like say there's a rocket man who's just flying out here. You don't want to open one of these doors because it'll take 2 minutes and he can get into the ship that way. It's a very easy breach point. You grind through that door and he has access to the ship. So do not open these when you have a security threat happening. All right. So there's our beetle miner. Go and mine some stuff, bring it back. All three doors are open as soon as you get back. And, you know, maybe I'll just show you on this other side here while I'm waiting for this to close. So this, again, this other side here is the build and repair or grind down station. So you'll notice that that sensor turned red there, and the lights turned on the exterior here, and then we're going to open up the doors, hopefully, as soon as it's done depressurizing. And voila. There we go. Yep, so all three open up. There we go. And then you just park your ship, and you're good to go. All right. Okay, we're going to go on to the next part now, which is our ship printer. I do like the ship printer here. So I like it, but also it kind of causes a little bit of lag whenever we use it. So we're just going to go and have a look-see here. Just going to go through the walls. Okay, we're going to go up here. Here's our ship printer controls. So we are depressurized again. That's okay. So in order to weld anything, right, let's just weld a Jeep. Ground transport. So we're going to press the button. Again, you can change it to whatever you want to. We got a mining ship, we got a welder ship, and we got a ground transport. So we're just going to weld one of these up. In order to weld it up, select what we want and press the big red button. So we're just going to press this here, and hopefully it starts. Why aren't you starting? Oh, okay. Before I do this, gotta let you know. So if the ship is moving, we don't want to be able to use this. This is very important because it kind of messes things up. And also, when the ship is in ship mode, it will lag a lot. You know, I mean, it doesn't lag a lot. It just it has a little bit of time dilation because it has to calculate more things. So Kind of slows everything down a little. You'll notice here that we say that the ship printer is locked by bridge control. Over here, it would say that the ship printer is ready if it was ready to use. So we're going to go to the bridge. We're going to unlock the ship printer. All right. Okay, we're just going to click ship printer lock unlock. That status there changes, and it also will change over on the ship printer itself. So we're just going to go back to the ship printer. And oh, a little bit of lag. Okay. Now you'll see ship printer ready. This one is off. Okay, so got our little projector here. We're just going to start welding up the ship. Okay, the projector here turns off. That projector down there should be turned on still. And we are away. Now this can cause a little bit of lag while it's welding up. We're going to see little like screen freezes and stuff here. That happens. That's normal. That's totally okay. Should continue. Come right out of the floor. All right. Okay, you'll notice that the wheels cannot be placed, all right? So I have a little timer block that's set up so that whenever you build something, it will check to see if there are wheels that need to be placed. And if there are, it will place them once we get to the top here. So I'm just going to get to the top. And pop those on right there. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Wheels are placed, and then you'll hear this little sound block go off, and it'll say, there you go, objective complete. And we'll come down here, the doors automatically open, this thing drops down. You'll notice that there's a little nub up there still, so you can just kind of fly up there and grind it off if you want to. I'm just going to use this here. We're going to just grind it off. Okay. Oh, grind it a little too much. That's okay. And then we're just going to take this and drive it back. We're going to drive back until we reach this sensor right here. This is important. Do not move anything into the area here, the welding area, until you have that sensor crossed by the thing that you just welded, because if you do that, before you do that, and there's something that's still under this arm, then this arm will close down on top of it and you can't really stop it very easily. There's a button in the control itself, in the control room, to raise the piston back up, but I don't have it. You know, it's kind of obnoxious if you're the only person there, so make sure you run over this sensor before anything else. All right, now we have our little ship here. We're going to turn off our artificial mass blocks. That's really important. And then we're going to come back and grab one of these things here. Again, these will be stored in the warehouse, but we just have this one here from when we were using it before. I'm just going to grab onto it. Okay, we have our little guy here. We have our auto lock turned on. Everything's good. Make sure you are flying in Control Z mode, so the dampeners will not kill yourself as you fly into the wall or whatever. And then we're just going to hook onto this thing here. Artificial mass blocks are turned off. Okay, we're hooked on. We're just going to come right around here. All right. And down we go. Okay, whenever I do this, I like to give it a little bit of thrust going down before I release so that it automatically just goes down. So I'm just, or I guess you could also have someone in the driver's seat of the vehicle here, and you can just lower this down and press 4. Oh, that's the auto lock. So let's do down again and press 3. Okay, that's unlocked. Back off from it a little, and then run over here, hop in the cockpit. It's going down, but then we press 7 and it goes down all the way. Okay, and you're good to go. That's it. So we can go and take this. We got our handbrake on. We can go and take this back and park it in the Jeep hangar that's behind us there, okay? That's how that works. Now, if you're welding a tank, it's important to note that the welder itself will not weld subgrids, and the tanks can in the turret on top. Here, I'll just show you the tank down here. The turret on top is a subgrid, so it will not weld up the turret that's on top here, including this little connector block and the cannon. So you're going to have to design your own. That's okay. You're all engineers. You can do this. The tanks are pretty cool. You just sit in the seat here and turn it on. And there's a control here. Once you weld your cannon back up, you're going to have to set it up with this little custom turret control block. All right, so we got our readout, we got our controls here, we got a little window to look out. We can close up the door on top, and we're good to go. All right, so I'm just gonna leave that alone for now. And yeah, honestly, guys, this is all I really wanted to show you. With the printer, if you're printing like an actual ship that flies, all you gotta do is fly it out of the hangar. It's pretty easy. So you fly it out here, you automatically cross that sensor that I mentioned earlier, and it'll close everything. There should be nothing underneath after you fly over that sensor, and then you just fly out of the hangar as usual, or park it wherever you want it. So like if you're printing a fighter that got destroyed, then you can just fly into whatever hangar is vacant. And then dropships, again with the dropships, it has this little subgrid on the back, this ramp here. So you'll have to design the ramp and put it back on. It should have the control already set up and stuff, so it should be good to go on that regard. And these gunships here, good to go. With the industrial ships, or these cargo skiffs here. So these here have magnetic plates on them, and those are they'll have to be welded up again. So just remember that. And yeah, that's really it, guys. That's everything about the hangar. So make sure you don't crash into stuff like I did, and yeah, have fun with it. Next thing to show is probably the gunnery control stations, the gunnery deck, and the airlocks, and that'll be the next video.